Hi, I'm James from Essex Recording Studios. I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the drum kit. We've just come off a session with a band called PISTON. We're using what, when I got it when I was 16, was told to be a prototype between the Camco and DW range. You can kind of see with the lug nuts and things like that that it's the same as the Camco and the same as the DW. Great story behind this drum kit. Basically, I went into a place called Drums Inc. in Hornchurch back in the day and just loved this drum kit. Every time I'd chat to the guys in there, and they were just so helpful. And one day he said, if you really want it, we can do a straight swap. And I did a straight swap with my Pearl Export for this, and this has been my go-to ever since. What I love about the drum kit is the sound of rock for me. It's a 22 by 18 inch kick drum. It's very deep sounding. The shells are quite thin, which I think allows it to be louder, more resonance. That could be wrong, I'm not sure, but it sounds killer. We've got a 13 by 14 and a half rack tom and a 16 by 15 and a half floor tom. Overall, it's a super live, big rock sound. We've used it on a couple of albums, mainly rock. I don't think it's a go-to kit for pop, but for the PISTON session, this just sung through. The snare drum we used on the session as well is a classic Ludwig Black Beauty. It's the big size. I think it's a 6 inch there, 14 by 6. Again, absolutely killer. We're using the Weather King Vintage A head on the top. And the heads on the toms, we're using the Emperors clear, which I like, mainly because they're more open. As you can see, I don't use any dampening on the toms, as what we wanted to go for was the big open drum sounds, loads of sustain. I don't really see the point in dampening down this kit. Seems a crime to me, to be honest. Cymbal wise, we had a mixture. We've got the Power Ride, HHX Power Ride, which I've had for years. It's one of my favourite go-tos. The bell on this is absolutely incredible, which you can just absolutely smash away on without the rest of the cymbal just exploding into, crashing out. We've got an 18 inch Istanbul crash, a Zeist series. Picked that up from Sound Attack off a guy called Scott. Again, one of my favourite. I do prefer darker cymbals when we're recording. I find AAXs to be a little bit too bright in the studio. On here we had a Zildjian Avidis, I think it was an 18, again it was a dark crash. These hats over here, a bit of a story. There was a band called Magistrates that used to rehearse at a studio that I ran about 3 years ago, and I had a set of AAX Fusion hats, 13 inch. And he had these massive Zildjians. I think they're 15 inch them. Anywho, we decided to do a swap, and that was 4 years ago, and I don't want my other ones back if he ever watches this. They're incredible. They're like the sustain on a piano. That's the way I see it. Totally rock and roll. I won't ever clean them. I think I'd be scared to clean them, as that will drastically change the sound. But yeah, here at Essex Recording Studios we've got a few drum kits. This is one of them. This is definitely the rock drum kit. We're going to leave some audio examples for you to check out and hear how this thing sounds in this room. I think you'd be quite impressed. So anyway, cheers.